Dogs can't climb ladders. Now, I am probably going to work, roll towards that.
Is that a ship? To see, however...
I knew. I'll be around if you make it.
Hoi! Welcome. Literally just letting everyone know the dealio. Figured I would do some Dark Souls 2 streaming instead of Bloodborne, because I can't hit a brick wall in Bloodborne at the moment, so... just letting everyone know the dealio. Decided to switch over to halberd instead of the fists. I was using fists for this build originally, but ugh, it was not going well. Yeah, I apologize. Just give me a second. Alright, let's actually get some stuff done. I apologize for that delay, man. Whoever may be watching. Yeah, let's... So, yeah, gonna try and get a bit more done on the Lost Bastille. Gave up on the fist build. Dual-wielding fists is not fun. It actually kind of works in the original, but the update has just made it so much harder. In some good ways and some bad ways. So, stick with a weapon I actually know how to use, might be able to get some progress done. Changing up the enemy locations is just pure evil. Oh, goddamn. Yeah. That was not there originally. Alright. Oh, what? Oh, exploding. Okay, did not. Yep, gonna get killed by this exploding mummy. Wow. I really have shaken up some of the enemy placements. Get the angle better. will say the improved darkness on the engine definitely helps a bit in some areas, makes the atmosphere a bit more tangible, which was definitely something that was lacking in Dark Souls 2 originally. That's still in the same location. I think that's still the same. I can't actually remember. Okay, this is now no longer requires a... That's interesting. Yeah, no longer requires a Ferrous Lockstone to open that up. Hey man, welcome aboard. Thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, so... Welcome on board, new viewers. I know I said I wouldn't use the Slice the Cake page again, but whatevs. Take advantage. So, yeah, doing some Dark Souls 2 today, because I've been doing Bloodborne basically every day. Well, I've been playing Bloodborne basically every day for the last 2 weeks now. And, I need a bit of a break. Try something new, try something else. And this came out the other week. The updated version of Dark Souls 2, so... Oh, that was what I was hoping wouldn't happen. Now, whether or not I'm going to be able to get to... Oh, I should be able to get to that bonfire down there. Whether or not I have something to heal with, that'd be nice. There we go. Awesome. So is this room still... Yeah, this room's still a clusterfuck. Okay. Awesome. Anyone who's played Dark Souls 2 knows exactly how much of a clusterfuck this room has always been. I'm just gonna cheese them because I really can't be bothered. I don't even think I have a petrified branch, a fragrant branch. Yeah, no, bugger. That's alright, I'll try and get down to the bonfire at the, before the Lost Sinner. Yeah, this one down here. Oh, they've stuck an enemy here, okie dokie. But they've only got one archer up there now, that's okay. I really keep forgetting about those friggin' boxes, those friggin' exploding barrels, eh? It's embarrassing. It's noob behaviour. I do like that these guys now do their fireball attacks much more. That was something that, like, just needed to happen more. They have those pyromancy attacks, and they drop some really cool pyromancies as well, but they just never use them. Yeah, grab this bonfire, we should be right. Oh, archers move. Subtle. And spin to win. Well, I'm gonna have to... Nothing useful there. Alright. Still getting used to the touchpad now being the menus. apologies, this is pretty boring. I'm just going to warp back really quickly. Thankfully, the loading times in Scholar of the First Sin are way better than they were in the original Dark Souls 2, and they're 1,000 times better than Bloodborne. Sitting through Bloodborne's like 40-second loading screens when you die can be painful to say the least.
Bearer of sea lest.
The dialogue is still just as skippable. No. A little bit more equip load, a little bit more endurance, a little bit more health, a little bit more strength. And then... I didn't... Yeah, sorry, I have to do something really quickly. I didn't exhaust Malentia's dialogue, which means she hasn't moved back here. But at least I can warp straight from Cardinal Tower back to Lost Bastille. Just exhaust this dialogue real quick. There we go. Yes, go away. Alright, let's try and get the other bonfire in Lost Bastille. And then, God, maybe take on the Ruined Sentinels. Maybe. I might even just end up going and doing Huntsman's Copse. Or Copes, I can never actually remember which way that's meant to be pronounced. Sup, Shoggoth? Thought I'd do some Dark Souls 2 today instead of Bloodborne, since I've been playing it every day for like 2 weeks. I'll just like advance. I'll say if shit goes horribly in Dark Souls, if I like have some really bad luck or get frustrated with some sections that used to be like really frustrating and are still really frustrating, I will absolutely probably switch back over. But for now, we'll test out Scholar of the First Sin, see what's new. Ah, damn barrels! They really don't want you to spin to win. That was what I did mean to grab when I was back at Malentia, was some life gems, but that's alright. Yeah, I know. I cannot avoid these friggin' things. The worst part is I actually want it to happen at this point. I want this guy to knock this barrel down and open up the shortcut for me. Oh, really? Come on. Come on. What? What? Ah, no, don't. Ah, you stupid idiot. It's okay, I totes didn't need that shortcut anyway, right guys? That's just weird, like, 'cause I'm pretty sure in Dark Souls 2 his programming was meant to kick that barrel down and blow up this wall basically as soon as you got there, but he just didn't want to play this time. Still used to there being dogs all over this bloody place. Oh, for God's sake! I'm gonna have to rename this, man. I'm gonna rename this Magero Blows Up Barrels. It's just Barrel Chat 2015. Jesus Christ. It's just getting ridiculous. I think that's what, 4 now? 4 I'm blowing up? And I did it yesterday as well, not yesterday, the day before. When I was testing out some stuff, I did it as well. It never happened to me, eh? It never once happened to me in Dark Souls 2, and now it's happening to me non-stop. Yeah, I probably should be using something that pokes instead of a wide swipe, but Oh, especially when I'm not even getting a good distance on it. Oh, see, this is just gonna be really frustrating, this area. But yeah, we'll try and push on a bit more and actually get some stuff done. And actually, I don't know why that's closed. I've already been down here. Ugh, and this is still the exact same bullshit. Awesome. Yeah, see, I've always had a problem with this ambush because it really... They all move at basically the exact same speed, so you can't separate them, really. And I can't actually get an attack in because every time I try and stop and attack one... See, like, it's just... And they haven't changed this at all. It's still the exact same, like, bullshit that it was in the original Dark Souls 2. At least they leash, but... I mean, like, I'll be honest, guys, Dark Souls 2 is my least favorite of the series. I think that there's a lot of personal opinion down to that, but the choice to make warping available from the start, I think, really crippled the level design. Some people have said that it kind of follows, you know, more of a Zelda-esque, you know, like Ocarina of Time, where you go out and you do one path, and then you walk back to the middle, and then you do out another path and stuff. But I've always much preferred the Dark Souls 1, Bloodborne, and a little bit of Demon Souls sort of vibe with, where you would like... I mean, I know Demon Souls was that as well, where you go out, like, one path, and you walk back to the Nexus and stuff. But Dark Souls and Bloodborne in particular... I mean, anyone who's played Bloodborne, you guys would know the shortcut from Forbidden Woods back up to Central Yharnam. My jaw dropped. I literally sat there for about a minute and a half just going, holy shit. Like, that is just such gorgeous level design, and it links the whole world together, and everything becomes, you know, just like, all of a sudden, it just, the whole map fits together, and I really loved that in Dark Souls, you know, going down to New Londo, and then working your way back up to, you know, when I found the shortcut from New Londo up to Blighttown, I officially have never taken the long way through Blighttown ever again. It's like, why bother, you know? But that's exactly it, is that sort of level design was really good to my mind, and Dark Souls 2 just kind of doesn't do that, you know? It just... There's so many dead ends, there's so many areas where you will just be stuck. And, yeah, sorry to be rambling, while, yeah, you're saying, but exactly right, Miyazaki is, like, the driving force behind the best games of the series, and, yeah, I haven't actually finished Demon Souls. I don't own a PS3, so I've only ever gotten to play it when my friend, who you may remember from yesterday, or the day before, Mashies, he logged in for a bit and kind of hung out. He has let me borrow his PS3 on occasion and to play Demon Souls, and we actually did a character together. Like, he brought his console over and we hung out and had a few drinks and took it in turns whenever one of us died. And that is just, it's a gorgeous game. It's an amazing game, and being able to at least play it before Bloodborne meant that I got the Tower of Latria vibe that everyone was talking about, you know, like Tower of Latria being the main influence behind Bloodborne, and you can just feel it. Almost every area feels like it's you know, you're gonna run into those friggin' tentacle bell maiden things, you know, and then, like, even then you've technically got tentacled bell maidens in Bloodborne, so yeah, the Demon Souls influence is strong with that one. And yeah, that's my thoughts on the matter. I would love to. Mashies is currently up north doing some work, so he's currently not using his PS3. He hasn't got it with him, so I've actually asked if I can borrow it from him, do a Demon Souls playthrough, which I would love to be able to stream, which is, but it's unfortunate that I'm basically just stuck with the PS4 and what it can stream. Now, I heard there was another NPC summon they added. I would like to find, because I like to test out the NPC summons. Ah! I know who it is. Yeah, no, I will not spoil any story or anything about Bloodborne. I know what it's like. So you're all good, guys. I will just like mention a few things, but I'll do my absolute best not to just be like, this boss, when you fight him and the story does this. I promise I won't do that. Yeah, let's look at this. Felicia the fucking strong. Felicia the fucking strong. 99 intellect, 99 intelligence, 1 strength. Felicia the fucking strong. Keep the dream alive, boys. Keep the dream alive. Oh, that was badly done. I'm actually normally pretty good with these guys. Even when they turn into the gang squad, I'm normally pretty good. Oh, and that's exactly the kind of cockiness that gets you killed. Oh, so much for that. I am normally rather good with those guys. I'm just a bit rusty with Dark Souls 2. Got a bit slow. Yep, shit got wrecked. Just let me really quickly. Now, you know, I do believe, yeah, soloing them is not fun. I've done it, like I've definitely done it a few times, but it's so not fun that, yeah. Now, recommending the rapier was actually probably a good idea, Nero. I do believe that was you that recommended that. I don't actually have one, but that's not a bad idea. See, I am not... I'll straight up admit, I am not a believer in the idea that you have to play a Souls game the first way through on your own. I totally get that. But I don't know, I have always... There's always been brick walls for me. I mean, I'm not the best gamer. I think that's the acknowledgement that I can at least have. So whenever I hit those sort of brick walls, I don't feel sort of bad about summoning someone or even just going into someone else's world and learning like the strategies and stuff as a summon. I think obviously no one's saying that that's cheating, but yeah, no. As someone who's only sort of, I mean, you guys just saw me get wrecked pretty fucking easily, so that's the sort of skill level we're dealing with. Ooh, now. Yeah, I'm actually gonna go the S-Stock. I do like me that S-Stock. I'm tempted to go dual wielding S-Stock and rapier, but for now I'll at least just go. Yeah. Poke and poke and poke. Well, Melentia should be here. Melentia is here. We're having life gems. Since I forgot to do that last time. Yeah, but really quickly on that topic, I absolutely respect anyone who can play through a Souls game from start to finish with no walkthroughs, with no help, with no anything, with no co-op, just like, you know, and still play online, you know, let themselves get invaded and stuff. That is a mark of true respect. I have never been able to pull that off. I mean, Dark Souls 1, I went into it after watching 4,000 walkthroughs and reading all the wiki pages, and I basically went into it after doing, you know, a college course on the goddamn game, like, but Dark Souls 2 I went into blind, and Bloodborne I've gone into blind, and both times I've still hit walls where I've absolutely needed to summon someone, or I would just be stuck for days, and yeah, that's just, you know, I can acknowledge that I'm not the best player, and yeah. However, I will totally admit that if you summon like a few dudes and then you get into a boss fight and you do like, you know, I've had a few bosses where I've done really like nothing, like I've kind of just basically stayed alive and my summons have done all the work. Those don't feel satisfying. I'm never going to sit here and claim that that feels as satisfying as soloing a boss, because it just doesn't. You know, you just don't feel personally satisfied, or as satisfied, you know, when you have someone else helping you out and stuff. but yeah, it's built into the game. You know, if they didn't want you to have that ability, they wouldn't put it in New Game. I mean, that was why graveguarding is basically impossible in... Of course the Pursuer's going to turn up. That's why the Graveguard were basically impossible to use in Dark Souls 1, was because you couldn't actually do it until you're in New Game Plus, which kind of defeated the purpose of... Not defeated the purpose, but just made it really kind of hard to actually engage in some of the activities. Sorry, no, Graveguarding, Grave Lords. Yeah. Now, come on, just push this thing down. Just push it down. Come on. Or at least let me lock on and I'll throw a knife at him. Yeah, man, they've put a Pursuer in there, and the bonfire where you take... So, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Good boy. Oh, he managed to curve it. You dick. You dick. Didn't work. Oh, that annoys the hell out of me. I really just want that. They've made this so hard. Like, seriously, I've never had this fail so many times. I guess they want you to come from the other side and work your way back down. But yeah, when you... Dude, the changes are actually really weird. In this area, when you take the eagle from after the Pursuer fight in the Forest of Fallen Giants and land at the other side, right in front of you they've just stuck the Dull Ember. It's no longer in Iron Keep after that weird jump across the lava pool. It literally is just in a chest right in front of it. Right in front of the bonfire. And if you like drop off that first little area where you can push that barrel down and blow up all those dogs, the chest outside there now has the antiquated key in it for some reason, and once you open the chest, a Pursuer just appears out of nowhere and starts attacking. You can avoid him obviously by running back into the room, but yeah, they've put a Pursuer in like 2 different locations in this level. And I actually like the Pursuers turning up randomly, but yeah, the Dull Ember now being in a really obvious, no longer... You know, it doesn't even make sense, because now, if Macduff can't find that Ember, that's just weird, man. That's like, he's down there, and he can't find the Ember that's literally over there, in that tower, where the bonfire is. You know, like, how lazy are you, man? If it was an Iron Keep, I could at least understand not being able to get it, but... literally, like... the Dull Ember's here. I loved the Pursuer Sword until I discovered that its, like, heavy attacks are downward swings that don't track. So I just could never... I could never use it properly. I always kept, like, hitting to the right of where the enemy was. Don't even bother, man. There is no lore on the Pursuers. I've been over... basically every item description, and many more intelligent, more thorough people than I have been over all of this sort of stuff, and the Pursuer basically just seems to be a never-dying soldier that is determined to kill undead to make up for sins of his past. But, I mean, that's kind of like the whole... Oop, meant to throw a throwing knife there. That's kind of like the whole theme of the game in general, is making up for sins of the past anyway, so it's just like a bit generic and... There's no real, actual unique sort of closure to him. This ambush, man. At least poise is still just as broken. Yeah, this is another thing that Dark Souls 2 really struggled with. Or really doesn't really do well enough, in my opinion, is the amount of stuff that happens in the game that is just completely pointless. There are so many tangents and so many stories and so many like little offshoots and things that just have no closure and no proper significance to the main plot, and are just pretty much there to explain why an area is the way it is, but it's like you could already explain why an area is the way it is by doing it the Dark Souls 1 way or the Bloodborne way and making it all part of, you know, the one big story. I mean, like, the Lost Bastille is meant to be a prison that a king set up, right? So it's a prison that a king set up to just to store away the undead. But it's not King Vendrick. It's not King Vendrick's, it's not the Iron King's prison. It's some random other king. In the beta, you could actually read the king's name. Like, there was I can't even remember his name, but it's like, if you've got Vendrick and you've got the Iron King, this king's name was like Moldor, you know? There was like, it was a completely different king thrown in out of nowhere to basically give you like somewhere else to explore. And that feels so pointless, you know? I get that it's the theme about, you know, the undead being rounded up and everything, but it just kind of, yeah, it just doesn't link, you know? It doesn't make it all together. It just makes it feel like a bunch of unrelated shit that you're pushing through. But I'll try not to complain too much about Dark Souls 2. I do that way too often anyway. You guys are here to see me get stomped, so let's go get stomped. Hooray for pitiful damage, because I haven't upgraded it yet. Oh, damn you. That hit? Okay. You reckon? Of course Belclair will get knocked over. Yeah, this is the joys of not upgrading. I like the Belclair's still on the ground. Like, oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, this is gonna be, I can't move too further over, or the other two will trigger, obviously. So I'm just gonna have to hope that Felicia can... If Felicia can tank this thing for long enough, I would laugh so hard. Come on. Felicia the fucking strong, guys. She can do it. Holy shit. Oh, Felicia the fucking strong. Yeah, I've discussed this with a few people a fair amount of times. Basically, you can tell a good From Software game will be one that Miyazaki's involved with and one that has ragdoll bodies. That's basically all you need to know. If it's got ragdoll bodies and some Miyazaki, then it's probably going to be a good From Software game. Come on, separate, guys. Let's... Oh shit. Really? Alright, Belclair, can you... repair power. This is so dangerous, I should not be doing this, but... Come on. You can aggro on me now. Yeah, I basically did Dark Souls. I've still got, like, if I pulled up my 360, I have maybe 12 characters or something like that. It's combined of, like, 300 hours or something, and then it's Dark Souls 1 really, I became pretty obsessed. Dark Souls 2, less so. I think I have maybe 3 characters. Oh, shit. Oh! And all of them have been... Like one of them got to level 150, and then I basically just kind of gave up. And then I started another one where I got really bored. And then, yeah, it just Dark Souls 2 never had the appeal for me. The PvP is definitely the best in the game, like in the series. The PvP in Dark Souls 2 is, well, okay, I say that, but I just mean that mechanically. The way that the the soul memory stuff completely destroyed the meta. Like the idea of, you know, oh, we're going to actually play at level 120 and that'll be the build, that'll be the level that kind of everyone works towards. The fact that soul memory basically just wrecked that, that was really bad. They really just, I don't understand why they can't just patch soul memory out. They keep trying to figure out new ways to get around it. You know, they've put in a ring in this version where it will absorb souls instead of you. And it's like, okay, that's a workaround for a problem you should never have put in the game in the first place. You know, like, it just doesn't make sense. And then... Sorry, I'm making sure this dude's still... Yeah. Yeah, but mechanically, Dark Souls 2 is probably the best for PvP. It's just unfortunate that the meta, like the soul memory stuff, basically destroyed any hopes of, you know, a fair and balanced leveling range, sort of agreed upon by the community. Because why bother? Why bother sticking to level, you know, 120 or 150 when soul memory means you can go up to 300 and still be playing with the same dudes who are at 120? It was just unfortunate, because it had a lot of potential. Yeah, well, that's why I'm really intrigued, Brody, to see what the changes are in this version, because some of them I've already encountered have been rather good, like good change-ups. Like, actually, again, I like the Pursuer turning up where he is. I like that. That's kind of neat. But there's also been some areas that they just haven't learned their lesson. They just non-stop ganking enemies, and Royal Swordsman, man, I don't understand why the Royal Swordsmen do so much damage and can stun lock you and are in so fucking, like, there's so many of them. You know, that's why I've been struggling with these areas. I always do, because trying to just lure 5 dudes around and get one hit in and then, you know, lure more 5 dudes around, it's just... Kiting gets boring, you know, and Dark Souls 2 is so much kiting. And yeah, the fall damage is bullshit. I will straight up just say that right there. The fall damage is horse shit. The amount of areas they expect you to take damage, they like literally expect you to fall off and take damage to get somewhere, and then they go, oh, but we're going to take, you know, 10%, 20% of your health. No, just no, guys. This is actually turning into what's wrong with Dark Souls 2 more than anything else. I apologize. Honestly, it is a really good game. It was still Game of the Year for me. Last year, it was still absolutely Game of the Year. It was just compared to the beautiful Dark Souls and the gorgeous Demon Souls.
Bearer of seek them, lest they...
Really? Oh, because I haven't upgraded the S-Stock, that's why, yeah. Yes, of course, you knew I'd be back. I'm always back. That's another thing. Yeah, the fact that you can just walk there and just buy like unlimited life gems has always been a bit of an issue. At least they slowed the healing rate of life gems. They're not nearly as much of a lifesaver as they were in the original. And we'll use those souls to open up Huntsman's Copse. Copse. Whichever you choose to say. Yeah, Demon Souls really does have its own unique vibe, doesn't it? It's really interesting. You go through and you can feel the DNA in the other Souls games, but Demon Souls just has this sort of... this atmosphere. And the way it can go from high fantasy to low to dark and grimy with the flick of a switch is really good, which I think is something that Dark Souls 2 tried to do, but failed. It's just too high fantasy. It doesn't feel like a Souls game. This is something I was actually talking to Gareth about the other day. It's interesting that Bloodborne is... Yes, exactly, Shogoth. This is exactly what I was about to say. The main problem with it is that unlike Bloodborne, it actually feels like a completely different series. Not a completely different series, but it doesn't feel like it has this grimy, ugly but gorgeous soul, like the Souls games do. So I was actually saying to Gareth that if they were smart, they should have labelled this one like... This one should have been like Dragonborn, and Bloodborne should have been Blood Souls. You get me? Like, that's the feel that I get from those games. And not just because of Miyazaki, but the real emotional core behind the stories and everything. It really does feel like this is sort of a spin-off of the Souls franchise, and Bloodborne is Dark Souls 3. You know what I mean? Like, or would a real be... it's the real Demon Souls 3. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know who you are, but...
good old Falcon. Just making sure everything's prepared, and... Alright, let's see what's new in the cops. Well, I don't know if it's cops. Oh, for God's sake. If it's cops or copes. I've heard it pronounced both ways. But yeah, I for a while pronounced it as Huntsman's Corpse as well. Well, I guess more sort of zombies is something. I get the idea, like the idea of the re-release is to make you think on your feet again. You know, people who are so used to Dark Souls 2 now playing through being like, oh shit, there's things. Yeah, exactly like this, right? I get that. The problem is that once that initial thrill wears off, you just get left with what the end result is. And in some areas, the end result is going to be less, on replay throughs, the end result is going to be less, wow, this is a much more exciting game, and much more, God, I wish they hadn't put those 5 more enemies in this room. You know what I mean? That's just my initial impression. I haven't played enough to properly gauge fully. But, like, Forest of Fallen Giants now just feels painful. It doesn't feel... I mean, it didn't feel amazing beforehand, but now it just feels weirdly obnoxious. Like... but yeah, we'll just see. We'll see. Oh, one thing I will say is anyone who didn't manage to catch it the other night when I was playing a bit of Dark Souls 2 and I played did the Flexile Sentry fight was as I was going through No Man's Wharf, they've added an NPC shade into No Man's Wharf by the name of Bradley of the Old Guard. Bradley of the Old Guard is the greatest fucking NPC in the entire history of a Souls game. I cannot emphasize enough. Like, Bradley almost makes the purchase worth it, because I almost feel like everyone needs to see him in action. No joke, when you summon him, he will buff his weapon with lightning. Whenever you take damage, he will stand there, like, beckoning. He'll just be like that, and you come close, and then he heals. He does like a heal spell. He constantly draws aggro from enemies, and then when he has like all of their aggro, he'll then use Emit Force. He is just amazing. He's really intelligent, he has really good scripting, and I swore that it was like a person the first 10 minutes or so, and then he disappeared, and I was like, okay, but then I came through, and he was still there, and my brain clicked to the fact that you can't, you know, call your user tag something like Bradley of the Old Guard. Okie dokie, dude with whip. But yeah, Bradley of the Old Guard is just fucking awesome. Like, he is bro. He is now the, we've officially dubbed him Radley of the Old Guard. And like that, fuck that off. That is bullshit. There is no other way to get off that roof, and yet it expects me to take that amount of damage. Like, come on. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, I don't mind. It's all music, really. Yeah, the solo stuff is basically just my attempt at... Oh, shit. Bad time to scratch my forehead. Is my attempt at kind of replicating 90s video game soundtracks. I know that's a bit of an odd thing to mention, but I'm not going for 8-bit. I'm going, or 16-bit. I'm going for, oh, smart. I'm going for kind of just when we started just when composers in video games started using sort of strings and stuff. So PlayStation 1 era sort of soundtracks is my main inspiration. Yeah, hitboxes may be shit, but they still allow you to do stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm kind of working on some stuff that's a little bit influenced by the sort of synthwave 80s revival stuff that's been going on. But yeah, overall it's very influenced by. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Nobuo Uematsu, but obviously I respect him as a composer. His work for Final Fantasy is, I mean, it's revolutionary. It's just never been my favorite stuff. But yeah, no, really inspired by the soundtrack to Medieval, which is a PS1 game that, oddly enough, I actually consider to be proto-Dark Souls. I think if you took Medieval and Castlevania Symphony of the Night and one of the, like, maybe Nightmare Creatures 2, and then bash them all together, that would basically give you Dark Souls. I think that is something that people don't really recognize, or maybe not recognize, but don't quite think about, is for as unique and amazing as the Souls series is, you can totally trace it back to, you know, that sort of Metroidvania style of level progression, and that sort of grim and dark gothic aesthetic from Medieval and Nightmare Creatures, along with the lock-on combat system that, you know, Nightmare Creatures and Zelda have sort of done. You can really trace all that stuff back, which I think is interesting. And yeah, Shorgoth, I have a solo project called Jazz Terminator. It's basically just, like I've been saying, it's soundtrack music, my attempt at soundtrack music. So it's mostly synths. It's all done basically by me and my amateur programming skills in Reaper, using some free synth VSTs that I've got. And yeah, feel free to check it out. Like I said, Jazz Terminator. I'm hoping to put out like an EP of stuff once we've finished up the Man with No Face. Once we finished up the new Slice the Cake album. I was about to call us the Man with No Face. Peace out, Nero. Take it easy, my brother. Yeah, once we finished up the new Slice the Cake album, I want to get Jonas to give me a hand, because I'm not a producer. I'm really not a producer. I have very limited experience with production and recording. So yeah, I'm working on getting that done, and then after we finish the new album, I'll put out sort of an EP or an album of that stuff. Oh man, I really wish we could. I really wish the album was done. That's like the biggest thing. It's not done. Like, that's the thing. I would love, if I could, I would genuinely, I swear to God, if I could, I would just leak a bunch of stuff from it. I would send it to one of the dudes at like Total Deathcore or something. And just be like, don't tell anyone, but here you go, new music. Like, I promise you I would, but it's not done. That's the thing. It's not a single track is 100% finished. They're mostly done. There's it's 70% done. Most of the tracks are, you know, like only missing like a guitar part here or some vocals here, but there's a few tracks that are you basically just, yeah, like, we've got the drums done, we got the guitars done, we got the bass done, but all the keyboards and all the vocals still need to be done. So yeah, we're still trying to get it all wrapped up, and we're not going to announce a release date until we have everything finished, because that's what we always do in the past. We always go, hey guys, it'll be out March 31st or whatever, and we never manage to meet those deadlines. But we really appreciate the patience. You guys have no idea how much we really appreciate just sticking with us, and because it will be worth it. I know I'm biased considering I wrote most of it, but there is some material on this album that fell for the okie dokie. Oh, that's okie dokie. That's something. I have no idea what's going on, so I will, okay. shit, yeah, don't run back into the poison, Majero, Jesus. I don't think there's a specific Genghis Tron reference. Oh, motherfucker! That's what I get. Jesus, I was just trying to heal, man. Look, I mean, that's just personal preference as well. I think there are tracks better than Mountains of Man. Obviously, some of you guys will disagree. Gareth disagrees. Gareth hates when I say it's not one of the better songs on the album. It is one of the better songs, but Gareth really gets annoyed when I downplay how like good it is compared to some of the other stuff. Because honestly, some of the other stuff will, I think it's just, yeah, it makes, oh, Jesus Christ. As you can see, this is why I've never been that good at PvP. There are some really, I don't know if he got Praise the Sun in there, but there are some really blatant Dark Souls shoutouts. I'm pretty sure he managed to get, with Fire Came the Age of Disparity, or something like that in there. Like, he actually got the Dark Souls 1 intro sequence dialogue in there. And it works with the lyrics. It's not just a meaningless shout-out. It's an actual proper nice little tie-in. So... Come on. Take a swing, jerk. Look, we just figure, it's the least we can do, man. You guys, our fans are the reason we're able to do this. So, our fans are you guys are all the reason that we're able to make music and, you know, keep doing this as almost a career by now. So it's like the least we can do. If someone gives us a shout out on Facebook or just even says, hey, where's the album? We're not going to ignore that. That's, you want to, and we don't have thousands of comments or anything like that either. So it's not exactly a big burden. And that's the other thing is, a lot of bands kind of, you know, like if Periphery don't reply to every single comment, I don't think that's a big deal. Those guys have 4 bajillion comments, you know. But if someone hits us up and it's like the only comment we've had in 2-3 days or whatever, then ignoring that is just like, really? You don't have 5 seconds to spare, you know? So yeah, we always try to reply to everyone. And if you want a physical location, the album is inside Jonas's computer, chugging away in more ways than one. Yeah, one of the biggest setbacks for this album has just been the amount of stuff that we crammed in. There's 15 songs, and basically every single one of them has some sort of, like, ridiculous layering effects going on, and there's some really, big... Holy shit, why is... that just makes no sense. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't even care about, like, difficulty, that just makes no sense. Why is one of them here? What the hell, B-Team? That, yeah. What? That is so bizarre. Yeah, we feel it's the least we can do, you know, to at least, just respond, you know? Yeah, I think the difference with what Aversion's Crown did was they were at least smart enough to just put out the single and be like, the album's coming soon, you know, like, I mean, yeah, no, I get you. They didn't say anything for a while, but they, in the meantime, they were organising the nuclear blast deal as well. So they had some stuff that was going on, and yeah, shit happens. But I mean, at least the Aversion's Crown album that came out was worth the wait. But I think the reason we kind of feel so sort of slack about it is, yeah, of course, is the fact that we've had so much of it done for ages, and then we could have put out some of it, but then we had the hard drive crashes, which kind of, it's like, we had to put it out a month before the hard drive crash, then, you know what I mean? It would have been done a year ago, but instead we delayed and tried to do some other stuff, and we got clever, we got cocky, and all of a sudden we had a hard drive crash, and then we had to re-record the entire album. Oh, for God's sake. Alright, you're gonna play it this way then? I mean, like, to give you a quick rundown, originally we were going to release two separate EPs over the course of about 3 months. The Man of Ash and Rust and The Man of Silver and Stone. And they were completely different ideas. Like, the Man of Ash and Rust EP is, it was these 5 tracks of just big, chaotic, ugly, a little bit more progressive side of, like, closer to Between the Buried and Me than anything else we've ever done. To the point where there was actually some riffs that I realised later on I had directly ripped off from Between the Buried and Me, and that's why we're not using 1 or 2 tracks from it. But the Silver and Stone EP was the exact opposite. It was going to be basically a continuation of Kawatani. It was going to be like a continuation of that sort of our symphonic melodic side. So there was going to be the really melodic EP, and there was going to be the really chaotic and heavy and ugly stuff that would really sort of help us branch out. But then we've literally just we started writing an entirely new album in the meantime while we were waiting for that all to be recorded, and then we scrapped track 1 off the Man of Ash and Rust EP completely because of the rip-off, the riffs that I accidentally stole from Between the Buried and Me, and then we basically started reworking parts 2 and 3 into something completely different, and now they all link into part 4 and 5 in a different way, and now we're using them as like tracks 10, 11, and 12, and 13, I think, on the new album. And yeah, it's just, it's been through a lot of changes. I was going to keep rambling about it, but I just realised how fucking, like, complicated it really all is. Overall, in the last 3 years, we've probably written 20 songs, and we're going to use 15 of them. And about 6 of those have probably had major editing work done to them, whether that be combined with other songs, or, like, entirely new riffs changed, or whatever. And Mountains of Man will probably sound the exact same, however it may get some keyboards. There was some keyboard tracks I couldn't find the tab for. That was another thing we lost in the hard drive crash. But I found the tabs that had all the keyboards I wanted to use, so we're going to experiment. We're going to put the keyboards in, see how they sound, and if they don't make it all too, like, if it doesn't clog up the sound, make it too much going on at the one time, then yeah. But if it does end up being too much stuff going on at once, then no, then Mountains of Man will be the exact same, I think. Holy shit! Yeah, alright, I get it. Guard broken, I get it. I need the key. Shit. Oh, that's right, yeah. Oh yeah, there's bloody Merciless Rowena going to show up. Ah, she turns up here now. Nice. That's much smarter. You can't cheese her off the cliff. I always did like that side. Oh, she now heals. Nice. Okay, that's pretty cool. I always did like that side's secondary, like after you do the first one. And it does the reap inwards. There we go. Yeah, we've experimented with a lot of keyboards on this album, but whether or not we actually use them will be an entirely different matter, because some of them really do just clog up the sound, makes it like too much going on. And it's better to... Oh shit, something's firing magic at me. I don't need that. I need the key, and then I need to get the fuck out of here. No! No! The key's right there! Damn you! Yeah, I'm a big fan of Make Them Suffer as well. I'm pretty keen to hear what the rest of their new album's going to sound like. If you enjoy stuff like them, you should check out a band called The Breathing Process. They haven't done anything for a while, but they had an album out in 2010 that basically sounds like what Make Them Suffer sound like now. Oh, dude, you ain't heard nothing yet. Like, I don't think the ugliest stuff we've really done has been like rational thinking. So if you take the ugliness of rational thinking and then put that across like a few other tracks in different methods. I mean, there's a track that is just the heaviest thing we've ever written, like just straight up. We used 8 strings for it, F sharp standard, and we just picked the ugliest chords. It's not just about like, oh yeah, we tuned low. We picked really ugly chords, and yeah, it'll crush some faces, I do believe. And it goes into probably one of the most chaotically, like, just weird songs we've done. You know, like the way that it's all structured is just really sort of. I hate saying it's progressive, but. Because that sounds like I'm up myself, but it's definitely not, it doesn't follow the same sort of chord progressions that the Slice the Cake stuff has been doing up to this point. Oh, that's right, it broke. Oh, shit. Alright, I'm gonna have to go back and repair that, sorry. But there is also plenty of just sort of, you know, I keep telling people that this isn't gonna be the album that, like, completely changes our sound. Like, this is not going to be the album that makes you know, Slice the Cake into, you know, this is not going to be our version of like Watershed. You know, we're not going to go from something sort of proggy and brutal into something completely different, but we've definitely experimented with a lot more areas. This is definitely, it feels closer to like the jump between Colors and Parallax Part 2 by Between the Buried and Me. I mean, if you listen to those albums, ignoring The Great Misdirect in the middle, not because it's bad, but just if you just basically listen to Colors and then listen to Parallax Part 2, that sort of progression is the progression that we really tried to go for. So there's some new stuff, but there's also some very familiar stuff to keep everyone happy. Sorry, again, boring stuff.
You again?
Can I... at least... yeah.
I'll be around.
It's something. Yes to both questions. Gareth writes all the lyrics, and I have very little involvement in that. We obviously chat, we go through ideas, you know, do you reckon this is a good idea or whatever, but 99% of the time Gareth is 100% behind lyrics and vocal direction. We've actually had very few arguments about what he does vocal-wise. He's just fucking awesome, so... and yeah, there are going to be... There's actually 2 songs in particular that are pretty much all acoustic. really keen to see what you guys think about one of them, because it... I'll spill the beans. Track 14 and 15, Destiny's Fool going into the Holy Mountain. There's some riffs in there that are basically the exact same, and the whole point of it is that you hear the acoustic version, the sort of swing country... I'm trying to remember how I described the atmosphere I was going for. Like an evil cyborg saloon. You know, I was looking for like an Old West meets sci-fi sort of feel. I know that's really weird to say, but yeah, that was the sort of vibe I was going for. So anyway, we got that done, and then we started writing this other song, and the riffs just all kind of like fit. So we made an acoustic song using a bunch of riffs, and then we took a bunch of those riffs and turned them into a super ridiculously heavy, brutal song using basically the exact same chords. And they follow straight into each other, and when you guys hear how it all links up, I think you're going to be very, very happy. It's also just one of the most fun acoustic songs that we've written. I really like a good, like, fun acoustic song, you know, just like, not, hey, we wrote a ballad, so it's acoustic, but just like songs that are actually, you know, just an acoustic song, you know, a bit of rock, bit of jam. So yeah, it's got a real good groove to it, but yeah, anyway. We are all the exact same age, which is 24 this year. Ah, damn it, there's something staggering. Come on. Forward. So this guy's got the right idea. Dual wielding. You might as well dual wield in this game. I don't know why I'm not. Ugh. Yeah, seriously, just stab the dog! Oh, for God's sake. Oh, I didn't... Okay, no, genuinely, I did not even see him. I should have known he was there, but I thought he'd been moved. Whoa, 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 whoa. For reals? So yeah, let's try and at least get that key, open up that bonfire. I will admit, the update to Dark Souls 2, this what I'm playing right now, has made the feeling of like that desperate struggle against the world a bit more palpable. I definitely feel like much more sort of a bit more stressed to push through, which is something that was missing in the original release of Dark Souls 2. I never felt the risk in Dark Souls 2. But I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it now. Wait, isn't the key in here? Did I miss something? Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. Must have just not read the description when I picked it up. That's what you get for not paying attention. If I could get up to the Iron Keep, that would actually be pretty good. I do really like Old Iron Keep. Oh, they're trying to make Crichton's story a bit more subtle, clearly.
Who are you? I thought you've... I am.
Yes. Move to your location. I've already done Pate's story. Yay, that's what I wanted. The dude I've summoned is wearing the Seldora set, which means he's either done a lot of grinding in Brightstone, or he killed Morlin for his armor. I dislike people who kill Morlin for their armor. Jesus, they put a lot more of these bloody poison butterflies in. Look at that fall damage though! Like, for fuck's sake, game! Oh, that's cool. I actually like that. Haha! Yeah, man. Crosslips Grace, I was actually friends with them back in the day. Not like really super close friends, but hung out with them, saw them 5 or 6 times. Ended up sleeping on the guitarist's couch a bunch. Well, I mean, their guitarist is now in Diada's Murder. So, I try not to be a bit of a brag about it, because it does sound a bit boastful, but honestly, it did, man. Slept on his couch. Super cool dudes. Really good stuff as well. Their drummer was scary. I don't actually know what their drummer's doing these days. He was really good, and yet I don't think he's done anything since. Ha! That's interesting. Appreciated, Brody. I'm still working on some stuff, so hopefully I'll be able to put out like an EP's worth of stuff within, you know, the next year or so. But yeah, we'll see how we go. And yeah, really amped for new IR. Really amped. I wasn't a big fan of Adversary, but I'm a big fan of Hate, a big fan of Infinite Death, and just a big fan of those dudes in general. So I'm really keen to hear what they're going to do. And it's been produced by Will Putney again, so it's bound to be fucking sweet. It's at least going to be heavy. It's at least going to be very, very, very heavy. Oh, for God's sake, Estoc, really? Fine. If anyone can confirm whether or not durability has been nerfed or not, that'd be really neat to know, because I swear they've just removed the durability from... I've had so many more weapons break and stuff. Maybe I'm just playing really sloppily because of Bloodborne's emphasis on overhitting to regain health. I like that Crichton doesn't... Oh no, there he goes, he's going to attack all 3 enemies. That's alright, I'll take care of the skeletons. Now he's killed a... Whoa! How many fucking skeletons do they want to spawn? Jesus Christ, game! Look, I'm all for a few more, but I think 10 is a bit much. Jesus Christ! I am seriously all for the increased difficulty in this case. It was too easy the boss fight. But how many of those skeletons do you want to throw in? That's just... Jesus. Sorry if I'm not reading the comments, guys. That just distracted me. Yeah, like I said, man, like I said, guys, I'm a really big fan of Hate, so... same producer, same writers, same vocalist, same everything. For this album, it's gonna be fun. Actually, no, I actually had that one coming because I've been using this thing at such bad range. The bone wheels, the least favourite part. Broken. No? Am I going to be able to get one more hit out of this thing? Yay! Oh, beautiful. Yeah, I will give them that. You could probably bonfire aesthetic and then grind out for ruined skeletons. But, yeah, god damn. That was weird as well, because I think they've added more normal skeletons, but they've taken out a few of the bone wheels and taken out one of the giant ones, which is interesting. Personally, I think the way that Dark Souls 2 is built, you would actually be better off with more giant skeletons and no bone wheels or little ones, but whatever. Like, the game is much more suited for fighting bigger enemies with a wider range. The smaller enemies in groups just become... ugh. Kiting. Oh, look, there we go. Now it's broken. I didn't even notice. Hey. I actually want to watch this poison dry off in high def. It's only, like, I've only got poison on my shoes and the poison meter's still building up. I like that. It's like the game just being like, wear socks, motherfucker. Peace out, my man. I did figure that, yeah, who would be joining would be overseas, so it's a bit late for you guys. But, yeah, man, I'll be doing some more streaming. Not sure when, but we'll figure it out. Peace out, dude. Go quickly level up.
I knew. I'll be around.
Alright. That's done.
Is that a ship? To see, however...
Honestly, I don't know. I think they've moved the locations for some of these shards, so I don't even remember picking up half of them. 5:30 AM, which would mean you would be somewhere in, because England is 10 hours behind us, and it's 2:30 here, 2:30 PM. I get those. I know a lot of people don't rate them, but I think at least, yeah, 90. Yeah, I figured, man. There you go. Merry old England. I promise I won't. That's the last mildly offensive, stereotypical thing I will say about it. All the global community, everyone's the same. Stereotypes are dumb. But yeah, no, that's pretty cool, man. It's cool that you can join along. Heads up, I may take a short break reasonably soon. I've got to make some phone calls and organize something to eat. I'm yawning like a motherfucker. But I will definitely be on for another few hours very soon. So anyone who actually wants to just hang out and watch, I won't make another announcement about it, but I will definitely, like, I'll probably play some more Bloodborne relatively soon. So yeah, I might just try and get more Harvest Valley done, and then I'll just quickly duck out, get some stuff done, and then I'll come back within half an hour to an hour. I know I said that yesterday, and I didn't come back, but I will do it today. No, good on you, man. Appreciate it. It's been really awesome, having so many peeps come out and hang out and kill some time. Haha. Again, man, if they were finished, I would absolutely play something in the background for you guys. But as it stands, they're all basically still unfinished, so I just don't want to. I mean, this is an interesting. When I always loved when System of a Down had leaked this, Steal This album, leaked, like it actually leaked before they put it out.
I travel about.
And
I never play, but
for
now that I'm
reals?
here. Oh, don't.
For God's sake, go away, Chloanne. Stupid woman. Yeah, man. If the album was actually done, I would absolutely play some, because I always think of when System of a Down had Steal This album leaked before it was meant to come out. They weren't pissed that people wanted to hear the music. They were pissed that people were hearing it unfinished. You know, like people were hearing the non-final versions, and that's the exact same. I really don't. When it comes out, you guys can download it. You can put it on a disc and fling it over a building and like give out 1,000 free copies to all your friends. Do not care. Exposure. We just want people to enjoy the music. But until that point, we just don't want any sort of premature impressions, really, because there's a lot of stuff on this album that has been changed and reworked and will probably be edited again before we're done. Mainly because I'm a really picky composer, so if anything comes back from Jonas and Gareth and doesn't sound exactly how I want it to, I will be a bit of a dick and be like, hey guys, what's the dealio? And then we'll normally end up having like some discussion about whether or not it's better this way or whether it's worse this way, or and yeah, I can be a bit of a pain about, I don't know guys, I wrote it away, you know, I wrote it this way for a reason, you know, I'm sure that they must get sick of me sometimes, but it's all good, it's all coming good, we're still all working, and just really waiting to hear back. I'm actually just, at the moment, I'm currently waiting to hear back from Gareth about how far he is into vocal recording. I know he's done about 6 or 7 songs, pretty much complete, like absolutely done. But when Bloodborne came out, he took a little bit of time off, which I'm sure you guys can understand, because, you know, Bloodborne, Souls games, yeah. But then he, literally like the week before he got Bloodborne, he got sick, so he couldn't do any work then. Then he got Bloodborne, and then literally the week after that, he had a friend of his go through some really serious problems with a girlfriend and some housing problems. So he's been trying to help his mate out, and it's just been like, I understand, like everyone is just like, yep, no dude, you take your time, you get it all done. But then on the other side, on the other hand, we're also sitting there just like, come on, just record, just let's do it, come on, please just record. Like we don't hold it against him, but you know, we really wish we could just get it done, you know. This guy is a lot stronger than I remember. Bonus points for the name, Ovdi, please. I could probably sell. There isn't really much point selling stuff when it's all been nerfed price-wise. Yeah. Although I'm never going to use any of those, so...
Many deal, many thanks.
Alright, the doy. Was it a fire seed or a... Oh man, getting distracted by the phantoms. Oh, yeah. Yeah, fire seed, I thought so. I'm from Queensland. I am up on the coast. Up out on at Brisbane Way. It's good. Victoria's my favourite place apart from Brisbane. Been there a few times, and yeah, it's my absolute favourite place in Australia apart from just my home, you know. If I couldn't be in Brisbane, I'd be in Melbourne. Of course, if I... Oh, that's so much smarter than the stupid thing they had down there. I'm going to do a little bit of cheesing. Wow, they really sped up poison. Yeah, man, it's. I mean, that's the thing is I have always wanted to visit both Sweden and England, and then like I literally joined a band where the two dudes are from Sweden and England. And it was just like, wow, this is coincidental. Yeah, this is a much better challenge. I approve of this change. This is awesome. Literally through internet forums, man. Really? Lingering Dragon Crest Ring? There? Okay. Jonas put up a demo of Cleansed, just an instrumental demo, on ultimatemetal.com, asking if any vocalists wanted to do some work on it. And Gareth piped up and said, yeah man, would love to try out. So they did that together, and then about, oh, that is evil. Like, they actually filled with poison? They are. Oh, that's evil. That is so evil. And then about 3 months after that, I'd just been kicked out of my old band, and I'd put up the last song that they had written, or not they had written, but I had written for them, that we never ended up using. I put it up online as a Guitar Pro tab, just in one of the Ultimate Guitar forums, and I basically just said, hey, well, you know, I'm curious on people's opinions. And Jonas messaged me out of he saw it and then sent me a message just being like, I know this sounds a bit weird, but would you mind if I recorded this? And I was like, dude, no, go for it, eh? Like, that'd be really cool. And then we just kind of started talking on MSN a bit more, and yeah, within 3 months it was kind of like, well, do you want to do an EP of this stuff? What should we call ourselves? And then all of those discussions start. And then that's basically, yeah, that's been how it's happened. I mean, it's really not as like intricate as people think it is. I tend to write the music. Jonas then records the music. Gareth then records his vocals, and then Jonas does the mixing and mastering. It's really straightforward. Like, people kind of assume that it's like, oh, how do you record this part and then record over that and then send all this back, and you know, does this person write this? Or and it's not. It's pretty much because I write most of the material, Jonas records all of it, and then Gareth does all of the lyrics and vocals. So We really just kind of, my job's done, your turn now, you know, like, and that's actually why I'm playing, that's why I'm doing some streaming, is because my job has been done for a while now, and I kind of wanted to do all of the stuff, like, I kind of wanted to do something with the community, with the fans, while we're waiting for the other guys to do shit. Plus, it was an excuse to play some video games and talk about myself. And yeah, most of the compositional work is basically in my hands. Final say is an interesting one, because that kind of depends on how we all feel when the song's being recorded. But 99% of the time, yeah, I will totally admit that I have put the hammer down. I'll straight up admit that I have a few times been like, no, we're not recording it that way. Like, just not even a compromise, not a question. Just, no, sorry guys, I didn't write the song that way. That's not how it's being recorded. Like, and I honestly feel no shame about that. I feel shame in the way I've handled it. I've been a dick about it in the past, which is not fair to them. But I absolutely feel, oh god damn, no shame about being picky about my composition, because it's the only thing I do in this band. So if you know, if Jonas wants to not half-assed, but if Jonas wants to do a different version of a guitar part that he wrote, then that's fine. That's his decision, you know what I mean? But because he can always do something else. He can always go, oh, if I'm not happy with this guitar part, then I can at least go, hey, but that bass line was sick, wasn't it, you know? The only thing I can do is write. So I get really protective of the stuff. And I also I try to emphasize that there's a lot of faith involved in this. You know, we tried working as a band thing. You know, I write a riff and then Jonas writes a riff and then Gareth writes a riff, etc. We tried that for a while, but we don't write at the same times. We don't write the same sort of stuff. We just kind of we work much better when we're allowed to do our own separate thing. So I say to the guys that, look, you know, I don't doubt a vocal melody. You know, there's been a few points where I've been like, I don't know, Gareth, that doesn't feel right to me, but I don't tell him not to do it, you know? So I then ask for that sort of same faith in my composition. If they kind of going, I don't know, Jack, I don't know, this doesn't seem like a thing we should be doing, I'll really think about it, and I'll have a discussion about it, but most of the time, I'll kind of go, look, just give me some faith, guys, and most of the time it works out. I write, Jonas records guitars, bass, programs the drums, programs the keyboards, and Gareth does vocals. So Jonas is basically the band. You know what I mean? He is the actual instruments and production side of things, and I am the writing side of things, and Gareth is the voice. God damn! Why, Billy, why? Holy snap. This area is way more painful than it used to be. In a good way, it needed it. This area was a cakewalk in the previous versions. But yeah, so we're basically just pushing along. Ah man, we're just dudes. It's we appreciate it. Like, we really appreciate it. No, I mean, that's the thing. People always assume we make cake jokes or slice jokes or whatever, but yeah. If I make a cake joke, you'll know. Like, I'll make a really obnoxious cake joke. You'll know, trust me. But no, I appreciate that, Jogoth. We're just dudes at the end of the day. And we like tunes, and we like the tunes we write, and we really enjoy that you guys like the tunes we write. So, where is that chick anyway? I don't actually know where those fireballs are coming from. A reasonable distance, clearly. Yeah, hitboxes. Oh, hitboxes. Yeah. No, seriously, where are those fireballs coming from? It's tripping me out. She's clearly close. She's aiming at me. No, I got no idea, eh? That's kind of weird. I'm sure I'm just missing something really obvious. Yeah, I rarely bother with these guys if the poison is still there. Because you can just do this. And they take care of themselves. Come on. Yet again, the sign of a good From Software game is ragdoll bodies and Miyazaki being involved, and Dark Souls 2 has neither of those. So. Ah, why? Why? What? Oh my god. There's what? Oh my god. Oh my god. What? I should not be alive. I am a goddamn Vincent Bennett lyric right now. Holy shit. Do something else. Stop doing it. Go away. I know if I try and drop off and get her, I'm gonna fall into that poison, so... There we go. Alright. Go get me souls back. As for the name, I've discussed this a few times. If people don't like it, that's totally cool. Like, it's a silly name, you know. We literally just picked it because, well, yeah, that's the thing for us, is it's memorable. You know, people remember Slice the Cake, whether they like it or hate it. They tend to remember it. Shit, I was hoping I would have something to help clear out this without taking the poison, but nah, not gonna happen. Just gonna fight the poison with life gems. Already poisoned, so. Whoa, really? Really, dude? Fucking really? Yeah, I'm well aware I'm poisoned, game. Yeah, no, like, we never would change the name anyway. It's us. It's our name. We're Slice the Cake. You know, I always see people being like, oh, do you reckon Job for a Cowboy regrets calling themselves Job for a Cowboy? No, because you remember the name Job for a Cowboy. You're not standing here going, oh, what was that band? Brutal Madness Killer Extreme or whatever? Just like, oh yeah, right, no, Job for a Cowboy. For fuck's sake, piss off, cunt. I have no stamina. What the fuck do you want me to do? blobs and crawlers. The phantoms are actually, one of my little minor annoyances is the fact that the phantoms are now so, they look just more defined than they did before. I am constantly finding myself, like, going to attack something and realizing that it's actually just someone else, like, who was here an hour ago, you know? Go away. Now, is this gonna be a trap? Still a trap? Still a trap. Alright. Poison gas trap as always. And it's still just a torch. At least they're keeping that tradition alive. God damn, I want my health back. Really? Why would anyone need a summon for this boss? When you can do... I got please tell me I have iron arrows. Alright, that's alright then. Alright, let's get this done. Alright, yeah, do it. Come on, Jabba. Suto. Ichuta Yuki. I don't know why I'm singing the Thunderbirds theme song. Thunderbirds are go though. Thunderbirds are so go. Alright, that's that done. I'm gonna buy some stuff off Chloanne, upgrade my gear, and then I will probably take a short break, guys. To anyone who actually wants to, who is enjoying this and isn't just doing it for the lols. I will be half an hour or so. Just gotta get something to eat, make some phone calls, all that sort of stuff. Get some stuff done, and then I can come back and kill some more time.
Well.
I am not a big horror fan. I've never been particularly...
I came here and said
honestly, I'm just a coward. I get scared really easily. I'm a very nervous sort of person. And yeah, sort of most horror films just... I don't like jump scares. Jump scares just annoy me more than anything else because it's all tension and then... Like, I just, yeah. I've never noticed that. I know they're... but... What's that? Okay. Is that what that little thing above my... below my stamina is? I have no idea what that is. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up while I'm doing some stuff. But yeah, no, I'm not actually a fan of horror stuff. However, I really like the themes that horror works with. I prefer horror stories, like novels, and sort of video games that can incorporate horror themes in without it just being a parade of jump scares. I really respect games like Five Nights at Freddy's for being able to captivate an audience with, you know, barely any money into design and all that sort of stuff. But the whole jump scare thing just isn't my jam. Silent Hill 2 is probably the only horror game that I can claim to have finished and still be like, yep, that was fucking amazing. That was worth the horrifying experience I just went through. But I mean, I'm a big fan of Lovecraft's stories, So horror writing, that sort of cosmic horror, really gets my jams. Cool, nice little bit of
I'll be
upgrades.
around if you're ready.
And you.
Restock up on life gems.
Thanks. Kind.
And I can probably use the... Still not sure why they even bothered putting fading souls in the game. I get it, it's a joke, you know. They only have 50, they were so weak, but there's a few areas where you just find like 9 of them, and it's like, just put one normal soldier's soul, guys, like... Oh, now there's the thing, I haven't actually encountered any
Bearer of the... Seek souls. Seek the king.
of the
Yes,
ash
this-
yet. I went through Hades and I didn't actually get the one that's meant to drop off the main. That's interesting. But yeah, I will, I'm going to head off and get some stuff done, guys. So I will be half an hour to an hour. I'll try not to be too long, but I gotta, yeah, like I said, I gotta get some stuff done. I need to get something to eat. My stomach's actually hurting. And yeah, I will be back relatively shortly. I'll let everyone know on my Twitter when I come back. So MageroSTC, or just look up Slice the Cakes page. I'll retweet it. But yeah, when I come back. And yeah, thanks for tuning in so far. And I shall talk to you guys soonishly.